There's no reason that this should be made, but I'm making it anyway. There's this tool called Presto API, which apparently you can build an API without coding anything. So let's use it. I want to make a little catalog of TikTok users. It sounds stupid, just hear me out. You go to the site, there's a little box, you type in your TikTok username, you click submit, and then all of your TikTok data shows up on the page, and you've been added to the TikTok catalog. And then anyone who visits the site can go and swipe through everybody who has added their data to the site. So I sat down with the lead developer of Presto API, and he kind of showed me around how it works. And it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. There's a few things you just can't do with it because it's a no-code app builder. I talked about this in my previous video. It has its limitations because you don't have full control over the code and all that stuff. So I told you the idea, but I can't do any data manipulation. When you're working with back-end development, you never trust the data that's coming from the front end. But Presto doesn't give you an option to, say, verify the data that's coming from the front end. So if I wanted to get my data in a specific format for my database, I would have to do it all on the front end and put it all together in the request and take the data from the request and put it in the database. But I couldn't change any of the data on the back end. I couldn't verify it. I couldn't do any calculations. I really don't have any control once I send it off to Presto. If they could add that, this product would be amazing and it would make a lot of money. With Presto, I can send the API data, it can add it to the database, and I can also retrieve data from the API or the database. That's great, it does that super well, and it does it all with no code, which is impressive. It's really cool. But I need to be able to fetch the data from TikTok and bring it back and then send it to Presto. Let me break it down for you. The user inputs their name into this little text box and they press submit. And then that username is sent to my backend that I'm gonna host in Node.js. I'm gonna use some TikTok API to take that username and get the account data from TikTok using the TikTok API or an unofficial TikTok API. I'll put the link to the module in the description if it works. From there, once I have that data, I'm gonna send it off to Presto, add it to my database using Presto, and then basically anytime somebody goes to the homepage, I'm gonna pull all the data from Presto and then display all of the users that have entered their name into my database. So I hooked up the backend that I just wrote to my front end. It's not really much right now. So if we go in, we have a field for a TikTok username. If we go and look mine up, Graham Billington, and click submit, down in the console, we can see name, my profile picture, my bio, how many followers I have, how many likes I have, and how many videos I have as well. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this data that I have right now, throw it into the Presto API that I'm going to build. So let's set up Presto, I guess. I have to create a database called TikTok catalog, and we can create that database. All right, database is created, and so now we can connect the database that we just created to Presto API. The display name will be TikTok catalog. The driver is SQL. That's the find database name, TikTok catalog, test it, and we have a successful connection. So that works really well. They make it super easy to set up your database and connect it to this backend that I'm about to make. Now we create the actual project, catalog at Presto API, boom, and then we create the endpoint. So we're gonna have one endpoint. It's going to be add user, TikTok catalog. We're going to do table, users, unique identifier, ID, methods, post only, custom. Okay, that might be it. When this data is put into the console down here, instead of it being put into the console, it's gonna be sent to this endpoint where it's put into the database. That's really it. So let's take a look at the website. It's actually live right now, so you can go check it out. catalog.grahambillington.com. When it first loads, you see my TikTok profile because I'm the creator. And we can scroll through. This is my sister, Bath Queen. You guys should follow her on TikTok. And live to create. Look at this. So like, people have been Ben put his thing in here. Like, people have been using this and putting their TikToks in here. It's actually cool. I didn't know people were using it. It takes a bit to load, I'm not gonna lie. Madeline Cameron, like, I've never seen these people before. It's super cool. I need to fix this. This is an issue. This is just an issue with my database. These are supposed to be emojis. Okay, I'm getting off track. But basically, I can type in any TikTok name. Like, what if I just type in TikTok? Press enter. It loads, and it loads TikTok, and they add it to the database. So now if I go back, TikTok's right here, and you can scroll through all of them. I was originally gonna do Presto API, right? That's kind of what this whole video is about, building an app with a no-code API builder. Unfortunately, I had to do a lot of coding. So Presto API connects to my database, right? So I'm connecting to my database through Presto API, and all of that is in a nice little UI on Presto. Let me just pull it up. So we've hooked it up to our TikTok catalog database, and if we select the users table, we can see the website's a little fucked up. One sec. So we can see all of the users. If we just display all of them, there's 9 users, okay? We got their username, their name, their follower count, their like count, their video count, and their profile picture link. That's the Presto API. So I have this endpoint here, and when I send this data in this format in client-side JavaScript, it hits this endpoint and adds it to the user and returns. And so Presto API is really good at connecting to a database and adding and pulling things from the database. In probably like 5 minutes, I had an API where I could send it data, it would add to the database, and I could also pull that data back. And so they did a really good job with that. What they can't do is support external APIs. The problem with this project was that I needed to scrape TikTok data. So I needed to use a pre-built API to scrape TikTok data. And I could not do that with Presto because they don't have any options to like integrate with other APIs or like upload your own code or stuff like that to host it on their servers. So what I had to do is I had to make a Node.js backend with Express. And I'll jump into the code here. Here's the backend. This is the full backend, not that much. CSS, blah, 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 HTML, and then client-side JavaScript is here. There's a lot of it. It's not necessarily good code, but it works. So if I was developing this app with like just to develop it, I probably wouldn't be using Presto at all because I already have a backend set up because Presto didn't let me do external APIs. So why wouldn't I just add the TikTok data to a database on the Node backend? It seems inefficient to me to scrape something on a backend and then send it to another backend to be put into a database. If I'm already connected to the database and I have the TikTok data on the backend, it would be a lot simpler to just send it to the database from that backend that I've already created.